Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 14.
How did the emperor get into such, well, immediate danger? The chapter opens, he's returning to Luoyang.
Right, but it's not peaceful.
Mhm.
There's this general, Li Lei, pretending to be Li Ju and Guo Si.
The infamous ones.
Exactly, and he's threatening the emperor's carriage. Just imagine.
Wow. But help arrives, Yang Feng and Xu Huang.
Yes, they step in, and Xu Huang, this is pretty amazing. He defeats Li Lei in just one strike.
One strike. Serious.
One strike. Think about the impact of that, even if just for a second, on the terrified court. A brief moment of, okay, maybe.
Heavily brief, you're saying.
Oh, absolutely fleeting.
Yeah.
Because the reality check when they actually get into Luoyang, it's stark.
Tell us about that. What did they find?
The source describes it vividly. Palaces burned down. Streets described as basically overgrown with weeds, unrecognizable.
Just ruins.
Exactly. Only just crumbling walls left. And the humiliation. Officials having to hold court. Literally standing among thorns.
Standing in thorns. What a picture of, utter desolation, a broken state.
Completely broken. And it wasn't just the buildings. The human suffering was immense.
Yeah.
There was a severe famine.
Right. Luoyang, the capital, down to just only a few hundred families left.
That's what it says. People resorting to eating tree bark, grass roots, just trying to survive.
Even the officials.
Even imperial officials had to go out foraging. It really drives home the human cost of this political breakdown, doesn't it?
It really does.
And this whole grim scene, it perfectly captures the Han Dynasty's decline. There's even this lamenting poem quoted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it talks about blood flowing and the a weak emperor, villains rising, vitality gone, bandits running wild.
Wow.
But the line that really gets me describes the suffering in the two capitals. This is, even an Iron Man would weep in despair.
Chilling. Just absolute hopelessness.
That's the feeling. Not just physical ruin, but spirit broken too.
Okay, so Emperor in thorns, empire collapsing. Who steps up? Is there anyone?
Well, there's a suggestion. It comes from Taiwei Yang Biao. He's like the Grand Commandant overseeing military stuff. He says, basically, we need to summon Cao Cao from Shandong. Why? Because Cao Cao has Oqi, a strong army, powerful generals. He's got the muscle.
Makes sense. But what was Cao Cao thinking? Did he just jump at the chance?
This is where it gets really interesting strategically.
Yeah.
As soon as Cao Cao hears the emperor's back in Luoyang, he doesn't just react. He calls in his top advisor, Sun Yu.
The brilliant Sun Yu.
Exactly. And Sun Yu gives him what the text calls a rare, like once-in-a-generation strategy.
Which was?
Embrace the Son of Heaven to win popular support. See, it wasn't just about military victory.
It was about legitimacy. The mandate of heaven card.
Precisely. Use that deep cultural belief to build this unshakable moral authority. Sun Yu even brought up historical examples like Jin Wengong supporting King Jiang, Han Gaozu honoring the righteous emperor.
So using history to justify the move.
Right. This is the real aha moment for Cao Cao's power play.
Right.
Turn military might into, well, something like divine right. It set a pattern, really.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And Cao Cao? He went for it.
Immediately. He saw the genius in it, got super enthusiastic, started prepping his army, and then, wouldn't you know it, the official summons actually arrives.
Perfect timing.
Couldn't be better. He didn't waste a second, mobilized his forces right away.
But, I mean, the clock is ticking, right? Even with a great plan, could he actually get there in time? The Emperor's situation sounds desperate.
Extremely volatile. And just as you think maybe things might settle, nope. News hits the Emperor. Li Ju and Guo Si are coming back. Again.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah, total panic. Forces another escape, this time heading towards Shandong, where Cao Cao is supposed to be.
And the description, I say, all the officials on foot.
On foot, walking beside the Emperor's carriage, another desperate flight. It just highlights how vulnerable they still were.
So they're fleeing Luoyang. What happens next?
Okay, picture this. They haven't gone far. Dust clouds everywhere, blocking the sun. War drums start thundering. A huge army appears on the horizon.
Oh, terrifying. They must have thought it was Liu Zhu and Wu Si again.
Exactly. Initial reaction. Pure terror. But then, they see the banners. It's Cao Cao's vanguard.
Ah. The relief must have been unbelievable.
Absolutely immense. From total despair to, okay, maybe there's hope.
And who's leading this rescue force?
Shehu Dun is heading the vanguard, and he's not coming lightly. 10 top generals, 50,000 elite troops,
50,000.
including guys like Xu Chu and Dian Wei, names we'll hear again. And then right after, Cao Hong, Li Dian, Li Jin show up with the infantry. It's a serious show of force.
Solidifying his presence completely. What did the emperor say?
You can just feel his relief in the text. He praises Cao Cao immediately, calls him a true pillar of the state.
A true pillar.
Yeah, recognizing that Cao Cao didn't just arrive, he arrived decisively, just in the nick of time. Saved him, and maybe saved the dynasty itself at that moment.
And Cao Cao backs it up with action, right? There's a battle.
Swiftly, Xiahou Din and Cao Hong engaged Li Zhu and Guo Si's forces, and it's a rout, utterly devastating defeat for the rebels. The text mentions over 10,000 enemy heads taken.
10,000. So that threat is finally dealt with.
For now, yes. Crushed. Which clears the way for Cao Cao's next move.
Which is?
His grand entrance into Luoyang. Not just the vanguard now, but his main army.
How big?
Over 200,000 troops.
Whoa.
Yeah. This isn't just a rescue anymore. This is an overwhelming display of military power. It's pretty clear who's calling the shots now. The power dynamic has completely shifted.
And Cao Cao doesn't hide it.
Not at all. He makes this powerful declaration to the emperor.
Yeah.
Basically, using the just cause to crush rebellion, I always win.
So he's framing himself, not just a general, but the force of legitimacy, the guy who brings stability.
Precisely. And this is where his strategic genius really pays off. The emperor, who owes him everything now, gives him these critical appointments. Effectively, he's now the chief administrator of the capital area. He gets the imperial staff giving him supreme military authority, and he's overseeing the imperial secretariat, basically controlling all official documents and decrees.
So complete control.
Total control. It's not just a promotion. It's the formal handover of imperial power into Cao Cao's hands. He controls the court, and through the court, what's left of the Han Empire. Game changer.
But what about Li Zhu and Guo Si? Are they completely gone?
Almost. There's one final confrontation. And an interesting little detail. Their advisor, Jie Shu, actually tells them, look, Cao Cao's too strong. You should surrender.
Sensible advice.
Very. But Li Zhu gets furious, threatens to kill Jie Shu for saying it.
Yeah.
So Jie Shu, being smart, just slips away that night. Good call.
Probably saved his life. So the final battle.
Yeah, and this is where Xu Chu, one of Cao Cao's generals we mentioned, really shines. Incredible heroism, leads just 300 cavalry.
300 against their army.
Yep. Breaks through their lines 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And he personally beheads Li Zhu's nephews, Li Xian and Li Bi.
Wow. That's legendary stuff.
So much so that Cao Cao sees this and shouts out, here's my Fan Kuai!
Comparing him to Fan Kuai, the legendary warrior from the Han founding. High praise indeed.
The highest. And that battle just finishes Li Zhu and Guo Si off completely. They flee west, described as homeless dogs.
Dogs without homes.
Yeah, seeking refuge in the mountains. Their power is totally broken. They're eliminated as a serious threat. It's the definitive end of their destructive influence and really cements Cao Cao's military dominance.
Okay, so the immediate crisis is over. Cao Cao is firmly in charge. What happens politically? Do other players just accept this?
Well, you see the immediate fallout, these shifting alliances. Remember Yang Feng and Han Xian?
Yeah.
The ones who initially defended the emperor before Cao Cao arrived?
Yeah.
They read the room. They see Cao Cao's power as absolute now. So they pretend they're going off to chase the defeated rebels. But really, they strategically move their own forces away to a place called Daliang, putting some distance between themselves and Cao Cao's direct influence. It's subtle, but telling.
What does that tell us?
It speaks volumes, doesn't it? It shows they understood Cao Cao's arrival wasn't just help, it was a takeover, a complete power shift. They knew they couldn't challenge him directly, so they moved aside. It's their way of acknowledging the new reality, Cao Cao's dominance.
In Luoyang, the east capital, and the picture painted in the sources is pretty grim. It's a place gripped by this terrible famine.
So bad that even, high officials, soldiers, they were visibly gaunt, starving.
Yeah, this backdrop of real desperation, it really sets the stage for everything that happens next.
And right into this desolation walks an envoy, sent by the emperor to Cao Cao's camp. This is Dong Zhao.
Dong Zhao, courtesy name Gongren from Jianding Tao.
And what immediately jumps out, according to the text, is how he looks. He's well-fed, clear-browed, bright-eyed, full of vigor.
A huge contrast to everyone else. You can just picture it.
Absolutely striking.
So Cao Cao notices immediately, right, and asks him straight up, how have you kept looking so healthy in times like these?
And Dong Zhao's answer is, well, it's intriguing. He says he's eaten bland food for 30 years.
Which sounds maybe a bit odd to us, but back then, it was kind of a signal, wasn't it?
Exactly. And hinted at, like, self-discipline, maybe detachment. It paints him as someone with real inner strength. Made a big impression.
Definitely. And then he lays out his background. He's worked with Yuan Shao, Zhang Yang, big names.
And now he holds this court position, Zhang Yilang.
Yeah.
Cao Cao apparently knew his reputation.
Yeah, he even arranges for him to meet Sun Yu, his top strategist. That says a lot about how highly Cao Cao rated him, even before hearing the big idea.
Right. Then things get moving. A report comes in Yang Feng and Han Xian. Their troops are heading east.
I think Cao Cao immediately wonders, okay, do they not trust me? Is this a threat?
But Dong Zhao, he just brushes it off, calls them unwise, not worth worrying about, just complete confidence.
Incredible confidence. He even predicts Li Ju and Guo Si are basically done for, calls them a tiger without claws, a bird without wings.
Yeah, suggesting they're no real threat anymore. It shows some serious strategic thinking, or at least projection of confidence.
And that kind of certainty, especially combined with his, calm appearance, it clearly sets the stage.
It really does. It leads right into his main point, moving the capital.
The big idea.
He argues that, look, Cao Cao is doing great work supporting the emperor, but Luoyang, it's problematic. Too many generals with their own agendas. The emperor's vulnerable there.
Which was a bold thing to suggest. I mean, they'd only just gotten back to Luoyang. Moving again could look really bad.
Definitely risky. Could cause public outcry. But Dong Zhao pushes it. He says, extraordinary actions yield extraordinary achievements. Time for a big move.
And Cao Cao's reaction?
Pure delight, apparently. The text says he grabbed Dong Zhao's hand, laughing. Admitted this was his original intention anyway.
So Dong Zhao basically just gave him the justification, the perfect opening he was waiting for.
Seems like it. A perfect alignment of advice and ambition.
But, okay, even if Cao Cao loved the idea, there were obstacles. He immediately brought up Yang Feng, right? Stationed over in Dalian.
Yep, and resistance from the ministers. They wouldn't necessarily be thrilled about packing up again.
So what was Dong Zhao's solution?
Pretty practical stuff. He suggested, look, send a nice appeasing letter to Yang Feng. Keep him sweet.
Okay, and the ministers?
Frame it as a necessity. Luoyang's ruined. No grain. Vizu Chang, on the other hand, it's near Ruoyang. Grain transport will be easy. No more shortages.
Makes sense. Address the practical concerns head on.
Exactly. It was a really well-reasoned pitch. Cao Cao was thrilled.
So much so that as Dong Zhao was leaving, Cao Cao apparently grabbed his hand again, asking him to stick around and keep advising him.
Yeah, it really shows a partnership being forged right there, based on this shared strategic vision.
It's a great example of how leaders, or at least Cao Cao here, can recognize an opportunity when it's presented so clearly, especially with practical steps laid out.
Definitely. Seizing the moment.
So Dong Zhao plants the seed. But Cao Cao, he doesn't just jump. He starts talking, secretly, with his own strategists, looking for more input, maybe confirmation.
Right, and this is where things take a celestial turn.
The heavens get involved.
Kind of. We meet Wang Li, the imperial astrologer, the Tai Shiling. He confides in another official, Lu Ai.
And what has Wang Li seen in the stars?
He's seen some worrying signs. Venus Tai Bai messing with Jupiter Zhengxing near certain constellations, Du and Yu.
Okay.
And Mars Yinghua is also doing something unusual, meeting Venus near Tianguan.
So lots of planetary action. What's his interpretation?
His conclusion is pretty dramatic. A new son of heaven is coming, the Han dynasty is ending, and a new power will rise, specifically in the Jinwei region.
Wow. So not just vague predictions, but pointing to a specific dynasty change and even a region.
Exactly. And this would have been taken very, very seriously back then. The mandate of heaven was seen as reflected in the stars.
Did he tell the emperor this directly?
He did. He apparently made a private report to Emperor Xian, explained the whole five-element cycle thing.
Ah, the wuxi.
Right. And he stated point blank, Earth will replace fire. Fire was the Han's element. Earth, he said, pointed to a new ruler from Wei.
Which is incredibly specific and incredibly convenient for Cao Cao's plans.
You could say that. It lined up perfectly. Though, interestingly, when Cao Cao heard about Wang Li's prophecies...
Yeah, what did he do?
He sent a message. Acknowledged Wang Li's loyalty,
right,
but basically told him, okay, thanks, but maybe don't talk too much about these deep heavenly secrets.
Even good news needs careful handling, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to spook the horses, politically speaking.
Precisely. Manage the narrative.
So how did Cao Cao actually use this? Did he just keep it in his back pocket, or did he integrate it into his planning?
He discussed it with Sun Yu, his brilliant strategist. And Sun Yu's take on it was, well, genius.
How so?
He connected all the dots. He said, okay, the Han is fire. Cao Cao, popular belief, links him to Earth. And crucially, Su Chang, the proposed new capital, belongs to the element Earth.
Oh, wow. So it's astrologically auspicious for Cao Cao to be based there.
Exactly. Sun Yu even added this cosmic flourish. Fire generates Earth, and Earth makes wood flourish. It perfectly tied together Dong Zhao's practical advice and Wang Li's heavenly signs.
That's quite a convergence. Practical needs, political ambition, and now celestial endorsement. Hard to argue with that trifecta.
It must have felt undeniable. It certainly solidified Cao Cao's resolve.
So then he goes to the emperor.
Yep. Has an audience,
Mhm.
presents the move, but frames it very practically. Lei Yang's ruined, logistics are a nightmare, Xu Chang is close to grain supplies in Ruoyang, plenty of resources.
No mention of destiny or earth elements, I assume?
Probably not directly to the emperor, just the practical stuff. But the underlying message, combined with Cao Cao's power, was clear.
And the emperor's reaction.
The source says he felt he dared not disagree.
Oof. Tells you everything about the power dynamic right there.
And the ministers, same story.
Yeah.
Intimidated by Cao Cao, no dissent offered.
So the decision was made, departure date set. Cao Cao himself leading the military escort. It's official, but under duress.
Clearly, the move is happening.
All right, so Cao Cao has his plan. He has his, let's say, cosmic backing, and he has the emperor in tow. They set off for Xuchang, smooth sailing from here.
Huh. Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Three Kingdoms period, after all. No plan survives contact with reality, right?
True enough. What happens?
They haven't gone far before. Bam, roadblock. Yang Feng and Han Jian, the very generals Dong Zhao dismissed, are there with their forces, blocking the way.
But unwise generals causing trouble after all.
Exactly. And leading their vanguard is this really impressive warrior, Xu Huang.
Xu Huang, okay.
And he rides out and accuses Cao Cao, point blank, you're trying to kidnap the emperor.
Bold move. How does Cao Cao react?
Interestingly, Cao Cao rides out, sees Xu Huang described as up and incredibly imposing, and instead of being angry, he's actually impressed.
He recognizes talent, even in an enemy.
Seems so. He reportedly thought, this is a true warrior. So he sends his own champion, Xu Chu, to fight him.
The duel, Xu Chu versus Xu Huang, how does that go?
It's epic. They go at it for over 50 rounds, and neither gets the upper hand. A complete stalemate.
Wow, a real clash of titans.
Absolutely. And seeing this, Cao Cao realizes Xu Huang is a true worthy general. He makes a call.
What's the call?
He decides against trying to beat Xu Huang purely through force. He sees the value in this guy.
So he pivots.
Yeah. He pulls his forces back slightly. He starts thinking. Recruitment. How can I get this guy on my side?
Classic Cao Cao, always talent spotting, even mid-conflict. So how does he try to recruit him?
He needs someone to persuade Xu Huang, and one of his aides, Man Chong, the Jingjing Kongji volunteers.
Man Chong. Why him?
Turns out Man Chong says he actually knows Xu Huang from before. They have some kind of previous acquaintance. Perfect guy for the job.
A risky mission, though, sneaking into the enemy camp.
Very risky. But Man Chong goes for it. That night, he disguises himself as just a regular soldier, slips into Yang Feng's camp, and finds Xu Huang's tent.
And Xu Huang's just asleep.
No way. He finds Xu Huang wide awake, fully armed, reading by candlelight, on guard.
Okay, so Man Chong has to make his pitch. What's the argument?
He starts with praise. You know, your bravery, your skill, it's rare. Then he questions him. Why stick with guys like Yang Feng and Han Shan? They aren't worthy leaders for someone like you.
Playing on his pride, maybe his ambition.
A bit. But also appealing to his judgment. And then he holds up Cao Cao as the alternative. A true hero who respects virtue and values talent.
And does he use that famous line here?
He does. Good birds choose their tree to roost in, wise ministers choose their master to serve. A direct appeal to switch allegiance for a better future.
How does Xu Huang react? He must be torn. Loyalty versus opportunity.
Deeply torn. The text says he sighed. He admitted Yang and Han weren't great leaders, but he'd served them a long time. He couldn't bring himself to betray or kill them.
A sense of honor, even in that situation.
Exactly. And Man Chong smartly acknowledges that. He says something like, I understand. That just proves you're a righteous man.
Ah, validating his conflict instead of dismissing it. Clever.
Very clever. And that respect, that understanding, seems to be what finally sways Xu Huang.
So he agrees to defect.
He does. He decides to leave Yan Feng and Han Xian, taking dozens of his own loyal cavalry with him.
Big news. But Yang Feng isn't just going to let him walk away, is he?
Not a chance. He's furious. Gathers 1,000 cavalry and chases after Xu Huang, shouting, "Xu Huang, you rebel, don't run!"
But Cao Cao must have anticipated this.
Oh, absolutely. Cao Cao is ready. As Yang Feng gives chase, suddenly, a loud signal explodes a Palshang.
The ambush.
Torches flare up everywhere. Cao Cao's troops appear from all sides. Cao Cao himself is right there at the front, shouting, "I've been waiting for you. Don't let them escape."
Perfect trap. Yang Feng rode right into it.
Completely surrounded, chaos ensues. Han Xin shows up with his troops, tries to help, but it's too late.
What happens to them?
Any of their soldiers just surrender on the spot. Yang Feng and Han Xian, totally outnumbered and beaten, manage to escape, but they have to flee all the way to Yuanshu for refuge.
Wow. So the obstacle is removed, and Cao Cao gets a top-tier general out of it, too.
A major win on multiple fronts. Cao Cao bringing the emperor's carriage to Shuchang, or Judu.
Mm-hmm.
Now that sounds like more than just changing location. It's a strategic masterstroke, isn't it? What's the immediate impact?
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating, actually. The immediate thing is how comprehensive Cao Cao is when he gets there. He doesn't just, move in. He builds the whole framework of a new government. Palaces, temples, government offices, even city walls, treasuries.
Wow, so it's a very visual statement.
Exactly. Visually, structurally, symbolically, Zhu Cheng becomes the new center of power. It's unmistakable.
And it's not just the buildings. He's also reordering the whole political landscape, right? The sources talk about appointments and noblements.
Yes, a rapid series. He rewards loyalty, rewards competence. 13 people, including Dong Cheng, made marquises.
Okay.
But maybe more importantly, he fills all the crucial government and military jobs. You've got Sun Yu as imperial secretary, Sun Yu as military advisor.
Key strategists?
Key people, yes. Borgia, master of records, Liu Ye, minister of works, others managing finance, grain. Mao Ji, Ren Jun.
So the administration.
The whole administration.
Yeah.
And the military, too. Xiahou Dun, Xiahou Yan, Tao Ren, Carhong as generals, Xu Huang, others as colonels, Zhu Chu, Dian Wei as commandants.
He's covering all the bases.
Completely. If you look at the big picture, he's building a whole apparatus, administrative, military, all under his direct control.
And then there's that critical line in the source material. All major court matters, first reported to Cao Cao, then presented to the emperor.
That says all, really.
What does that actually mean for the emperor and for Cao Cao's position?
Well, it raises that important question about power, doesn't it? The emperor's there, he's physically present, it looks like he's in charge.
But he's not.
But that line tells you, no, the real power is with Cao Cao. He's the de facto ruler, basically pulling the strings behind this imperial facade.
And he gives himself titles, too.
Oh, yes, Grand General, Marquis of Wuping,
Yeah.
just cementing his supreme position. No question who's really in charge.
Okay, so his own power base is solid. Now he looks outwards towards rivals.
Mm-hmm.
The sources say he identifies a, quote, heartfelt concern, Liu Bei.
Yes, Liu Bei over in Zuzu.
And he's given refuge to Lu Bu, the powerful but recently defeated Lu Bu in Xiaopei. What's the worry there? What's the threat?
It's pretty simple, really. Liu Bei, Lu Bu, both capable fighters. If they team up,
Trouble for Cao Cao.
a formidable challenge, a direct threat to his, newly established authority.
So one of his generals, Zhu Chu, has a very direct idea.
Ah, yes. Blunt, you could say.
Just send 50,000 elite troops and take him out.
Just wipe him out. Simple.
But Zun Yu, the strategist, steps in again. He suggests something subtler, more devious maybe.
Much more subtle. He advises against just marching in. Says Zhu Cheng is new, not ready for a big war right away. Instead, he proposes the two tigers competing for food plan.
Two tigers competing for food. Sounds classic. What's the plan?
It's pure deceit, really, using it to sow discord. The idea is Cao Cao gets an official imperial edict drawn up.
Right.
This edict grants Liu Bei the title of Zuzu Shepherd, makes his rule official, legitimizes him.
Okay, seems straightforward.
Ah, but here's the twist. Along with that public edict, a secret letter is sent, just to Liu Bei.
And the secret letter says,
Kill Lu Bu.
wow. Okay, so what's the expected outcome of this? Brilliant, but pretty brutal maneuver.
It's designed to be win-win for Cao Cao. Think about it. If Liu Bei actually kills Lu Bu,
Then he loses a powerful ally.
exactly. He loses a strong, fierce warrior, makes Liu Bei weaker, easier for Cao Cao to deal with down the line.
And if he fails, or refuses,
If he fails, or even if Lu Bu just finds out about the plot, they'll turn on each other. inevitably. And Lu Bu would likely kill Liu Bei in that fight.
So either way.
Either way, Cao Cao's rivals potentially eliminate each other. And he hasn't had to lift a finger, hasn't risked his own troops.
All psychological manipulation.
Precisely. Turning potential allies into mortal enemies. It's quite cunning.
So Cao Cao agrees. He goes through with it, sends the edict, sends the secret letter. How does Liu Bei react when this bombshell lands?
Well, Liu Bei's in Zuzu. He's actually thinking about sending his own message, like a congratulatory note, to the emperor in Jusheng.
Oh, the irony.
Right. And then the envoy arrives. He gets the official titles General of the East, Marquis of Yicheng Pavilion, Zuzu Shepherd. Big honors.
But then there's the letter.
But then there's the secret letter, and that presents the real challenge, a moral one.
And Zhang Fei, Liu Bei's famously impulsive brother. What's his take?
Oh, Zhang Fei is immediate. Kill him. Lu Bu's untrustworthy, we should just do it. That's his reaction.
Predictable, maybe. But Liu Bei, he makes a surprising choice, doesn't he?
He does, a really defining choice. He explicitly says, Lu Bu came to me for refuge when he was desperate. To kill him now, that would be Buyu.
Buyi, meaning?
Injustice. A profound breach of faith, of righteousness, especially given Lu Bu sought shelter with him. For Liu Bei, his moral code comes first, even over what looks like a strategic win.
That's quite a stand.
It really is.
And then Liu Bu actually comes to offer congratulations on the new titles. And Zhang Fei almost blows it all up.
Classic Zhang Fei. He tries to attack Liu Bu right then and there, even shouts out that Cao Cao called Liu Bu unrighteous and told Liu Bei to kill him.
Oh my goodness, how does Liu Bei handle that? I mean, that could have gone sideways fast.
Liu Bei is quick. He stops Zhang Fei immediately. But then, crucially, he pulls Lu Bu aside.
And tells him.
Shows him the secret letter. Reveals the whole plot. Lays it all out.
Wow. And Liu Bu's reaction.
He sees the letter, and according to the sources, he bursts into tears. He realizes Cao Cao wasn't trying to help Liu Bei. He was trying to make them fight, to sow discord.
So Liu Bei's transparency. It works.
It completely works. It saves Lu Bu, exposes Cao Cao's scheme, and Guan Yu, Liu Bei's other sworn brother, he backs Liu Bei up, says, yeah, this was a trap designed to make us swallow each other, so Cao Cao profits.
It really raises that question, doesn't it? Is sticking to your principles that integrity a strength or a weakness when everyone else is playing dirty?
It's the central question, perhaps.
So Liu Bei sends the envoy back, doesn't kill Liu Bu, basically tells Cao Cao, I'll think about it. Slowly consider it.
Which is a polite way of saying no.
Exactly. So Cao Cao finds out. Plan A, the two tigers plan, failed. Does he just give up on stirring trouble between Liu Bei and Liu Bu?
Not a chance. He turns straight back to Sun Yu.
And Sun Yu has another plan ready.
Of course he does. This one's called Drive a Tiger to Devour a Wolf.
Okay. Sounds even more aggressive. What's the genius of this next move?
It's even more layered, actually,
Yeah.
more indirect. Sun Yu suggests sending a secret messenger, this time to Yuan Shu.
Another warlord. Okay.
Right, and this messenger tells Yuan Shu a complete fabrication that Liu Bei has secretly sent a memorial to the emperor plotting to seize Nanjun, which Yuan Shu might covet.
So pure disinformation. Planning a seed of conflict between Yuan Shu and Liu Bei.
Precisely. He's manufacturing a grievance.
What's the desired chain reaction here?
The expectation is Yuan Shu hears this, gets furious, and immediately attacks Liu Bei.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. At the same time, Cao Cao issues a fake imperial edict.
Another fake edict.
Another one. This one orders Liu Bei to attack Yuan Shu.
So they're both being pushed to find each other based on lies or manipulation from Cao Cao.
Exactly. It creates this pincer movement, diplomatically speaking. Both Liu Bei and Yuan Shu feel compelled or provoked to attack the other.
And the goal. What does Cao Cao get out of them fighting?
Well, as Xun Yu explains it, while those two, the tiger Liu Bei and the wolf Yuan Shu, are busy fighting each other, Lu Bu, back in Sha-Pei, won't just sit still.
Liu Bu might see an opportunity.
He'll get restless, develop, as Xun Yu puts it, different intentions. Maybe try to seize power for himself while Liu Bei is distracted. It further destabilizes the whole situation.
So it exhausts Cao Cao's rivals, creates chaos, and he doesn't have to commit his own main forces directly.
Exactly. What's fascinating is the rapid adaptation. Plan A fails. Immediately pivot to Plan B, orchestrating an even more complex multi-party conflict. It's quite something.
Liu Bei in Zuzu. He gets this imperial edict, supposedly, from Cao Cao. Anyway, this edict tells him, go attack Yuan Shu. But straight away, his advisor, Mizu, he's like, hang on.
Yeah, he smells a rat immediately. He warns him, doesn't he? Says flat out, this is Cao Cao's scheme.
Totally. But Liu Bei,
What?
well, He's Liu Bei, very loyal, or maybe feels trapped. He says something like, yeah, maybe it's a scheme, but it's the king's command. Can't defy it.
And that's the crux of it right there. Liu Bei sees the political game. He gets that it's probably a trap, but he still chooses obedience. And it makes you think, doesn't it? When does following orders just become strategically a bad idea? Especially when you know it's likely a setup. It just perfectly tees up the vulnerability of the problems to come.
Absolutely. Was it just loyalty? Or maybe a calculated risk? Defying Cao Cao openly could have been worse? Maybe. So, okay, Liu Bei decides he's going. He needs someone to guard Zizu while he's gone. Guan Yu volunteers. Naturally.
Of course. The reliable one.
Right. But Liu Bei says, no, he needs Guan Yu with him. For strategy talks, on the front lines. So then Zhang Fei steps up, offers to guard the city.
And this is where you just kind of hold your breath, because Liu Bei immediately raises his concerns, big concerns. He knows Zhang Fei's temper. He even says it highlights the drinking, the violence when drunk, whooping soldiers, acting recklessly, not listening. Liu Bei lays it all out. He knows his brother's weaknesses.
He really does. Spells it out clearly. Which makes what happens next even more, well, significant. Zhang Fei, to his credit, he makes this solemn promise, okay, from now on, no drinking, no whipping soldiers, I'll listen to advice.
Sounds good on the surface.
But Mi Zhu, the advisor, again, he's skeptical. He says, only fear that words do not match heart. Basically, I don't trust him. And Zhang Fei gets mad, insists he's serious this time.
That skepticism from Mi Zhu is key, though. It shows everyone knew. It wasn't a secret flaw. Zhang Fei knew it himself. And despite Zhang Fei saying all the right things, Liu Bei still isn't fully convinced. He adds another layer. He asks Chen Deng to assist Zhang Fei.
Yeah, and tells him specifically, make him drink less so he doesn't mess things up. It shows how worried Liu Bei really was. He tried to build in a safeguard.
A safeguard against a known problem. A very human attempt to manage a difficult personality.
So you've got this really tense setup. Liu Bei heads off with 30,000 troops towards Nanyang to fight Yuan Shu, leaving Zuzu under this uneasy command. Now, while all that's happening, what's going on at the front, Yuan Shu is apparently furious.
Oh yeah, absolutely livid. He looks down on Liu Bei, calls him a mat weaver, like how dare this upstart oppose him and hold territory.
Adds a real personal edge to it. So Yuan Shu sends his best general, Jiling, and not just Jiling, but with a massive army, 100,000 men to crush Liu Bei.
It really underlines the power difference or perceived difference at that moment. Yuan Shu trying to swat Liu Bei down.
So the armies meet at Shui. Liu Bei's got fewer troops, so he plays it smart, sets up defensively near a mountain and river. Jiling comes out, described as being from Shandong, big guy, 50 Jin, 3-pronged sword. It's like, what, 60-something pounds, heavy gear. He challenges Liu Bei directly.
And then we get that amazing duel. Guan Yu steps in for Liu Bei. He fights Jiling for 30 rounds, back and forth, no clear winner. Intense stuff.
Right. Then Jiling calls for a break and tries to pull a fast one, sends his vice general, Xun Zheng, instead.
Guan Yu's not having it, though. He's like, no, I want you, Jiling.
Exactly. And then, bam, Guan Yu just takes out Xun Zheng. One clash, knocks him off his horse. Done.
Shows Guan Yu's power and maybe his frustration.
Liu Bei's army charges. Jiling has to fall back, retreats to the Huaiyan River mouth. He digs in, avoids a big fight, tries some sneak attacks, but they keep failing. So the front line just kind of stalls. A stalemate.
Which means the focus shifts back to Zuzhou.
Yep. Back to Zuzhou, where things are about to go spectacularly wrong. Zhang Fei's in charge. He's given Chen Deng the day-to-day stuff, but kept the big military decisions for himself. And then he throws a banquet for the officials.
Oh boy, here we go.
And he makes this truly bizarre announcement. He actually says, hey everyone, remember Liu Bei warned me about drinking? So, let's all get completely hammered tonight, and tomorrow we'll all stop drinking to guard the city.
It's almost unbelievable. It's like he heard the warning but completely missed the point, or just ignored it. It's just, wow. A massive red flag right there about his self-control and judgment.
Totally baffling. Then the situation gets worse. He starts pressuring Cao Bao to drink. Now, Cao Bao is Lu Bu's father-in-law. Remember that connection? Cao Bao says, I have a heaven's prohibition. Basically, I don't drink, ever.
A perfectly reasonable excuse.
You think? But Zhang Fei is already drunk, and he insists. Cao Bao refuses again, and Zhang Fei just explodes, drunken rage, threatens to whip Cao Bao 100 times. Chen Deng tries to step in, reminds him, hey, Liu Bei's orders. Zhang Fei just brushes him off. You stick to paperwork, Chen Deng.
The escalation is terrifying. It becomes personal, public humiliation. Zhang Fei's ego is just running wild, fueled by alcohol. dangerous combination.
Cao Bao is desperate. He pleads, tries to appeal using his connection to Lu Bu. Please, for my son-in-law Lu Bu's sake.
Big mistake.
Huge EE mistake. Zhang Fei just goes ballistic, screams, I wasn't going to hit you, but now you bring up Lu Bu to scare me. Now I will hit you. Hitting you is hitting Lu Bu. People are begging him to stop, but nope. He has Cao Bao whipped 50 lashes.
And that's it. That's the spark, the personal insult, the physical assault. It directly triggers the strategic disaster. Cao Bao, hurt and furious, becomes the inside man. He immediately enables the enemy.
Right. The consequences are instant. Cao Bao, deeply resentful, secretly sends a letter straight to Lu Bu, who's nearby in Xiaopei. He tells Lu Bu everything. Zhang Fei's drunk, the city's vulnerable, now's the time for a night attack.
Lu Bu gets this letter, talks to his strategist Chen Gong,
who sees the golden opportunity immediately. Xiaopei isn't far from Zuzhou, maybe 40-50 li, like you said, 12-15 miles. A quick strike is totally possible.
Exactly. So Lu Bu, Chen Gong, Gao Shun, they move fast, lead their forces out. They get to the Zuzhou walls around the 4th watch, so early morning, maybe 1 to 3 a.m. The source says clear moonlight. The guards have no idea.
Lu Bu uses a trick. Shouts up that he's a secret messenger from Lu Shijun, Liu Bei. Cao Bao's own men inside hear this, reported to Cao Bao.
Ooh, still stinging from that whipping, you can imagine.
Oh, yeah. He goes and opens the city gate himself. Lets Lu Bu's army pour in.
Just like that. Brutal efficiency. Lu Bu seizing the moment, exploiting that weakness created by Zhang Fei's meltdown. The internal breakdown just invited the attack.
So picture this. Zhang Fei, still passed out drunk in his quarters. Suddenly, Lu Bu's soldiers are crashing in. He scrambles, throws on his armor, grabs his huge serpent spear. Barely manages to get on his horse as the enemy arrives right there.
He's still drunk, though. Can't fight properly.
No way. But Lu Bu knows how tough Zhang Fei is, even drunk, so he doesn't push him too hard personally. Allows him an opening, maybe. Zhang Fei, with his loyal 18 Yan generals covering him, somehow hacks his way out through the east gate. But, tragically, he leaves Liu Bei's family behind, trapped in the city.
It's chaos. And even in that state, Zhang Fei's raw fighting power is clear. But his judgment, completely gone. That duality again. Fierce warrior, flawed man.
As Zhang Fei escapes with just a few men, Cao Bao spots him and gives chase. Probably wants revenge.
Bad idea number 2 for Cao Bao today.
Definitely. Zhang Fei, still furious, turns on him. Takes just 3 clashes.
Yeah.
He skewers Cao Bao with his spear right in the back, sends him tumbling into the river, dead.
So Zhang Fei gets a measure of revenge, but at what cost?
Exactly. He gathers any remaining soldiers he can find outside the walls and heads off towards Huainan, hoping to find Liu Bei. Back in Zuzhou, Lu Bu's now in charge. Secures the city. Interestingly, he posts guards outside Liu Bei's family residence, maybe a sign of respect or just strategy.
Hard to say with Lu Bu. Could be either, securing assets.
So eventually, Zhang Fei finds Liu Bei's camp near Zhuyi. He has to tell him what happened. The whole story. Cao Bao, the drinking, Lu Bu's attack.
Yeah.
The city's lost. Everyone's just stunned, shocked, silent.
And how does Liu Bei react? It's fascinating. He says something incredibly philosophical. What's gained is not worth joy. What's lost is not worth sorrow. Almost detached, you know? Maybe just processing the sheer scale of the disaster.
Quite a reaction. Maybe stoicism is his way of coping. But Guan Yu, he is not stoic. He's furious. He turns on Zhang Fei right then and there. Lays into him. What did you promise when you left? What did our brother tell you? The city's gone. Our sisters-in-law are trapped. What now?
The full weight of the failure crashing down, the broken promise, the consequences.
Zhang Fei is just overwhelmed. Shame, regret. He draws his sword. He's going to kill himself right there. And the source gives us that absolutely gut punch line. Raising the cup to drink, how unrestrained. Drawing the sword to end life, regret already too late.